Hi, folks, and welcome to We Built This White Lake. My name is Amy Van Loon. I'm the Executive Director of the White Lake Area Chamber of Commerce, and we are your hosts for We Built This, which is a podcast series. We are interviewing area businesses and organizations to tell their story. And today we have launching our third season, the City of Whitehall. Welcome to both of you. We have Scott Hubler, our city manager, as well as the mayor of Whitehall, Steve Salter. So thanks for coming in today and sharing with us a little bit about the City of Whitehall. And Steve, we're going to go ahead and kick it right off to you as our mayor. Tell us a little bit about not only the City of Whitehall, but even where we came from and how it all began.
All right. Well, thank you for this opportunity. I'd like to start with some history.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
I did some reading. There's a wonderful book called Cross River Rivals that does a really good job of covering the history of the White Lake area. So I went into the Whitehall side and dug out some interesting facts that earliest known inhabitants here were in the 1830s were Ottawa Indians.
Wow.
And after that, it comes to 1859, where Charles Mears, that name should be very familiar to this community, came and started clearing land. And at that point, the city or village was called Mears. And along 1862, they changed it to Whitehall. Okay. And some people wonder how they got Whitehall. And there's some speculation that it was a combination of Charles Whitaker and Moses Hall, the White Hall. So it hasn't been confirmed, but that's a nice story. So along 1867, the city is incorporated as a village. Along 1943, incorporated as a city. 2019, the city changed the charter to allow the residents to vote for the mayor. In 2021, I became the first elected mayor of Whitehall.
All right.
And in 2023, I was reelected to my second term, so I'm very grateful for the opportunity to serve this community. I could go on all day talking about how wonderful this community is, but...
Well, thank you for your service as the mayor.
It is my pleasure.
Yeah, we see you out there almost every day, out and about in the community, making a difference. So greatly appreciated. I remember not that long ago celebrating the sesquicentennial, and that seemed like it was just such a fun year-long celebration, thinking 125 years ago when our city was founded. And that was just when was that? It must have been, several years ago now anyways. But that was quite an accomplishment. And then I know quickly after, or a couple years after, then Montague had their sesquicentennial celebration. So 125 years, just to think of it way back then.
We are now at 162 years.
Okay, all right. Wow.
From the time we became Whitehall. It's been 162 years.
Okay.
So.
Oh, amazing. Well, good. Scott, tell us a little bit about the city as it is today, and what the role is in the community.
The city today is just under 4 square miles and just under 3,000 population, which was a nice 7.5% increase from the 2010 census. Nice. So we are growing. We've seen a lot of housing startups, which is nice. You got the Tannery Bay, you got Harwood Flats, and you've got a number of subdivisions that have been infilling. The industry is going, quite well, primarily led by Howmet, Highlight, and Whitehall Products. They've been doing great. The role of the city, we're a full service city, plus some. We provide police. We have fire authority as well as some other authorities. We also do streets and parks, but we also have the added benefit of a playhouse, which very few communities actually have, and a full service marina. So we do everything plus some.
Indeed. That playhouse is, I'm just going to mention it because you had mentioned it. is such a feather in our cap. We love the Playhouse, the marina. That's under your authority as well. Another great asset to our lake. We love our parks. Goodrich Park is just a little gem, and it's just such a great location. Now with the splash pad, and just really appreciate the upkeep of that park. Not to mention our trails. And so, those things are arts and culture. They're also our outdoor recreation. And so kudos to the city for seeing the importance of those amenities.
Yeah, thank you. And we are actively, with the city council support, looking at upgrading all of our parks, along with the always challenging street improvements.
Oh, yeah. Would you say that's among your biggest challenges?
That's definitely number one, the streets.
Okay, all right. Yeah, there you have it.
We have been aggressive as best as our finances will allow us. We've done over $7 million worth of street improvements in the last 8 or 9 years. It's always, the money is constraining.
Okay.
For those that are kind of wondering why somebody else's street and not mine, we go off of a street rating system. We had a complete inventory of every street in the city, so it's based on condition. Another factor is the underground, the water and sewer. If we have to get in and repair and replace the water and sewer mains, that street is going to take a little bit more of a priority, and funding. There are sources at the state level that provide funding, but it's not just an open bucket. There's always restrictions and requirements. So we try and balance it as best as we can.
What would you say are some of the victories? I had mentioned some of the amenities, but what are some of the things that City of Whitehall can really kind of hang their hat on?
Well, I would start with the reworking of Colby Street. That was the streetscaping. I think we did a wonderful job of making an appealing downtown. That includes the North Mears Promenade, which is a beautiful community gathering spot. It's been used for a myriad of functions, so it's a wonderful community gathering spot. The splash pads has been a real victory. I think the park system, I think we're doing a great job. We've got a wonderful city staff that's doing a great job. I mean, it's bare minimum, but and a lot of work. But everyone on the staff is dedicated to the city, as with the DPW. They're doing a great job. I'm out in the city all the time and talk to these guys, and they love this city. They love working for the city. So we're very fortunate. That in itself is a huge victory for the city and for the community. I mean, I don't think a lot of the residents realize how well they're cared for by the staff.
I agree. I feel that every day because I live and breathe in Whitehall as well as over in Montague. But the quality of staff that the city has is reflected in the community and much appreciated. Their hard work probably goes somewhat unnoticed, but I'm really happy to that everyone is in place. And our downtown area is incredibly charming. I love the North Mears Promenade. What a great addition with the social district, but also just even that the fire pit and with the sledding hill, that area is beautiful. Yeah.
We're very fortunate to have a lot of natural beauty around us. To sit at the top of that sledding hill and be able to look out on the river, and it's a marvelous thing. And I want to throw a kudos out to Scott. People don't really realize how much work he does. He's the city manager. He manages the thing, and he's been doing it for a long time. 22 years, I believe.
23 now.
23 now. So it's the state of the city certainly is a reflection on his dedication and abilities. So
I agree. What else? How do you feel that the city of Whitehall has impacted the community?
Well, I'm going to backtrack a little bit.
Right.
I will say that I don't have a single employee who shows up for their job. They all love working in the community. The guys out on the street in the public works department know just about every resident. They'll, say hi to them.
Right.
It's a very friendly staff, and I think that goes, miles. And living in West Michigan is, that's just the way we are. We're good, friendly people.
Yeah.
And some of the victories as well, Tannery Bay, that is a project that's long in the making. I think the tannery started in 1860, and only a short 160 years later, we got a beautiful residential community with a lot of very engaged residents from that community. Industries continue to bustle. It's great when Howmet and Highlight and Whitehall Products continue to reinvest in Whitehall. I think that speaks volumes for the community itself. But more so on your question, we impact everybody daily. Our goal is positively, but I know sometimes there's some criticism, sometimes well-deserved. But if you're walking your dog or driving to work or playing in one of our parks, that's local community. It's not state, it's not federal. And I think one of the big advantages of being in a friendly community, small community, is anybody can walk into City Hall and ask any question and tell us their opinion anytime. You can't go into the Capitol and tell our governor what they think or the President of the United States. So we impact everybody daily. And again, hopefully very positively.
Yeah. Definitely a great representation in the White Lake area. Having a wonderful relationship with our sister city across the bridge, with the City of Montague, and also our surrounding municipalities.
Yes.
And they're not to mention even the DNR and all things, that influence the happenings at the city level. So,
we don't do it alone. We do a lot of cooperation and collaboration with the surrounding townships, with the City of Montague, other communities within the county. We have, the Solid Waste Authority, the Fire Authority, the Wastewater Authority, Central Dispatch. I mean, I could go on forever.
Yeah.
That we all in this county and even West Michigan region do a great job of working together.
Great. Yeah, that's awesome. What else?
Something we have a great school system here. The VAC Center is such a asset to this community. I mean, whether you have students in the school system or you're just a senior living here, that facility is open to you.
Yeah.
It's a great spot they have an indoor walking track. People that haven't been there, it's a wonderful track. They have a meeting room that can be rented out. So we're very fortunate to have that. And the schools here are good schools, full of teachers that really care about this community. They're engaged in this community. Our sports teams are doing wonderful. Just last night, I believe the Vikings wrestling team advanced closer to state finals. So things are great there. Some things I looked up. We're at an altitude of 640 feet above sea level.
Well,
who would have thought we were that high?
Yeah.
We have a large population of Vietnam veterans in this community, of which I am one. We have a lot of wonderful businesses here that are engaged with this community. They're supportive of one another. The city, I believe, supports small business. We're extremely fortunate to have Amy, yourself, at the helm of the White Lake Area Chamber of Commerce. You do such a fantastic job. That there's so many events put on a year. I don't know how you do it all, but it's a fantastic. We got coming up. The Feet in the Street will be the next one.
Yeah.
It's our kind of welcome to spring, and come out and talk to your neighbors and and family and friends and enjoy this beautiful North Mears Promenade that we have.
Yeah.
And support local businesses. So,
And I'll pull a trick out of former Mac Hatch's bag in regards to what Mayor Salter said about the chamber and Amy's leadership. Ditto.
Ditto. Yeah.
The chamber has been a fantastic partner, and the board of directors have always been very supportive of Amy and the activities that have gone on in this community.
Well, thank you. Thanks. And it's an honor to serve in this community, to have wonderful cities to work with, to have a strong business community, to be open for business and to welcome those businesses. Proud of our industry. Scott, you had already touched on that. So a lot of good things going on to be to boast about, to be proud of. And with that, what kind of parting message would you want to leave with our viewers?
Well, I'll start. That way the mayor can have the final word.
Okay, I like it.
I think definitely get out and enjoy the community and the people. When we opened up the first leg of the bike path, it was amazing how people would not just pass each other and look down. They would stop, they would say hello, they would greet each other and be friendly. And I think we've got, as we've already mentioned a couple of times, a ton of amenities. And people are enjoying them. We want them to keep enjoying them. And we're going to keep doing our best to keep Whitehall the crown jewel of Michigan, as former Mayor Ullman used to say.
Yeah,
the crown jewel.
Crown jewel of Muskegon.
Muskegon County, yes.
And we're proud of our county as
Yes.
well, for sure. Yeah. Mayor?
So on that, I'm out in the community a lot. I walk around, and my goal is to see what's going on, see the condition of the sidewalks, the roads, meet people. I run into people, and they say, "How are you doing?" My standard answer is, "I'm living the dream in paradise." This to me is the dream, to live in a small town like this, full of caring people, a well-managed city. And I speak to visitors all the time and hear how wonderful this community is and how grateful that they are that this kind of situation still exists in the world today, of a caring community. So that's we are lucky to be here.
Yeah, I agree. For our viewers, the address to City Hall, in case anyone wants to look up the mayor or the city manager, is
405 East Colby. Come in on the back entrance. That's where you'll get to us.
All right. Excellent. And website. Do you know what your website is off the top of your head?
cityofwhitehall.org.
All right. Excellent. So,
And if you want to call, 894-4048.
wow. Okay. Well, some reference points there for our viewers. Well, thank you once again for joining us today in this interview and for sharing with us a little picture of what City of Whitehall is and does. And once again, thank you for all that you do for our area. This is kicking off our first episode of season 3. And we appreciate you joining us. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.